Our families have been present in court every day of the inquiry and listened to failing after failing from all involved on that terrible night of the 22nd of May 2017. We welcome each and every recommendation made by Sir John to try and make our country a safer place and to prevent more families finding themselves in our horrific position in the future. We were present this week with the hope that our government and emergency services will have at least begun to change and implement these recommendations. Sadly, that has not been the case for so many of them. Phrases like "we aspire to" just aren't good enough. Actions need to be taken so that when this happens again, there is a very different outcome and other families won't have to go through the heartbreak we have. Some of the recommendations made, such as the gap in bleed control training for first responders, that was clear following the 22nd of May 2017, and we are astounded to hear that 6 years on, this is not still fully embedded within the police, and we call for this to happen without any further delay. Sadly, we have little faith that changes will be followed through, and we publicly challenge the services to prove us wrong and ask that the government look at changing the legislation for inquiries to have the ability to monitor recommendations at regular intervals to ensure that each and every service is held to account fully. We have found the evidence this morning, in particular, to be absolutely heartbreaking. Listening to the evidence from the Department of Social Care this morning make excuses as to why, over 6 years since our families were ripped apart, the changes that need to be made to make venues safer are still not happening was awful to hear. As the Chairman pointed out this morning, the government are legally responsible for the health and safety of every person in this country. And if these venues are not providing an adequate level of care to those present because recommendations have not been implemented, then ultimately those responsible for this failure, including the government, should be held to account. Our plea to the government now is please don't forget us and our loved ones' names, but do the right thing in their memory.